Sorry, we're closed.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
We welcome you.
We do indeed welcome you back to the show. I was doing that little 4-second
Procrastination.
I was looking at our microphone levels to make sure that I did adjust them the correct way, and they are indeed the correct way. Sean, welcome back. Welcome back, my friend.
Well, guys, you'll never get that 30 seconds back.
You never get that back in your life. Welcome back, Sean. Sean, I welcome you.
There goes another 10 seconds.
So many things to welcome you back to.
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad. First thing to welcome you back.
Bienvenidos.
First thing to welcome you back to, Sean. I want to talk a little bit about what's going on in the other podcast that I do. Okay. Section 10. I hope that things are kind of announced by the time we release this. Otherwise, I'm going to have to cut this entire segment. But the New York Post picked up that Jared is leaving.
The Post.
He's
like that?
I guess. The New York Post picked up that Jared is leaving Section Barstool. And
sounds like something Fox News should pick up.
Yeah, damn it. The reason we did that is in the other room there is a Fox News reporter, Sean's girlfriend. Anywho, so he got picked up. He's leaving. He's going to DraftKings. DraftKings did not comment. However, Dave Portnoy did not miss the opportunity to comment on the thing,
on the transaction.
As he said in the quote. Actually, you know what, Sean? I want to bring up. So many people sent me this article, and by so many people, there was 2 people.
Oh my God!
Maybe
an avalanche of
maybe
inquiries.
3, possibly 3. AC might have sent it to me, but the Post picked it up, and Dave, Dave commented, and I want to give the comment a little bit of a dig.
Okay,
I think at Jared and DraftKings. He said, making money matters here now, not 10 years down the road. I told him that he should take that offer. I'll miss him, though, but that is our model. Build stars from the ground up, then replace them if they get mega deals. So it's similar to what we saw with...
That doesn't feel like a dig to me.
The first sentence.
I don't
making
get
money.
I don't
You're
understand
saying that
though.
he's getting paid more than he's making them. Making money now means more to them than making money 10 years down the road.
Okay. Well, I mean, that is certainly the difference between like a Barstool Sports business model versus DraftKings. I'm sure DraftKings,
a much bigger
is
company,
flooded with investments, where Barstool.
The way I compared it, I don't know if I compared. I certainly wasn't to you, Sean. It was someone else, but someone was talking to me. I think it was Brandon. Was talking to me about the difference between DraftKings and Barstool, and I laid it out very plainly. I was very proud of myself for this. I laid it out very plainly to them. I said Barstool is a part of a publicly traded company in Penn National. Mm-hmm. DraftKings is the publicly traded company. So it's a very DraftKings
completely different businesses
and much bigger business.
Yeah,
than
if you're talking monetization,
yes,
it is.
DraftKings is much larger than
different.
Barstool is. As I've talked to sports gambling companies about this podcast, and hopefully we have something coming here for a sponsor in the next couple of weeks. But with that being said, the ones that I've spoken to don't even consider DraftKings or FanDuel as competitors because they've just been in the game too long.
Right.
They're much bigger. They're in a different league. I was talking to, I forget who it was, but they were saying how much Pat McAfee got paid. They were saying that Pat McAfee,
like $100 million or something like that.
$30 million a year. $30 million a year. He owns all of his products. FanDuel sponsors his products for $30 million a year, and he gets to then go, but he's on the hook to pay his producers, to pay his staff.
I think he'll find that to be a
so
suitable amount.
So he might only come away with $25 million.
Sure. He's awesome, man.
He's very good at what he does. I don't know how he stands the whole episodes. He stands the entire time.
I'm a standard, but his episodes are like 3 hours, though, aren't they?
I feel like they are. You know what else I found interesting is that he pays Aaron Rodgers to come on.
I mean, that is interesting. I wonder how much Aaron Rodgers is charging for that.
So, yeah, I don't know either, but he pays Aaron Rodgers to come on. I would.
The
thought process that what I was told was that Aaron Rodgers gets paid like almost like a yearly salary type of deal.
Oh, okay. So
and
he's
then
like
he
making
just
like
comes on when
$150K.
Yeah, so like they give him like an extra, like $150,000 and say, hey, listen, you're obligated to come on once a week or whatever the contract says.
Very interesting.
But yeah, so Jared's leaving. I had the one tweet that I thought was the best at me so far about this was someone said that my Barstool career didn't last longer than my Red Sox career. Which I'm not pleased about.
Well, it's time. Sorry, we're closed. Let's do it.
Sorry, we're closed. But I won't say anything because I don't think this will be announced by the time this podcast is released. But there is still more to come with me and Jared down the line. But
good.
Anywho, you said you had a very quote,
Patrick.
very interesting podcast topic to talk about.
I don't think that was even close to my quote, but I think I said I got a great topic.
Well, we're gonna bring it up now.
Yeah, certainly.
You're much closer than I am. I know that. Ha 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 ha! I have a great topic for the pod.
Exactly what I said. Thank you.
That's not what you said. Continue though.
I saw last night. I kid you not. Top 5 wildest basketball games I've ever seen in my life. And it is no joke. I mean, I did see the Malice in the Palace live on TV, so it's probably
live on TV.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw that live on TV.
So I that may not.
Okay.
It's hard to say this is number
Malice
one.
in the Palace.
But aside from that game, this is in the conversation for number 1.
Okay, let's hear it.
The Wagner Seahawks at the Bryant Bulldogs. Patrick, do you have any idea what I'm about to say? Do you know anything about this game?
I know nothing.
Okay. So set the stage. It is the Northeast Conference, our beloved alma mater conference.
Beloved.
For the championship game on ESPN2 in Smithfield, Rhode Island at Bryant. All right. And Bryant's, do you know what Bryant's gym looks like?
No, I do not.
It's like a high school gym. It's like one of those where it's just like the two stands on both sides, and then under the basket it's the wall. They put the little cheerleaders there, and it's the wall. You know what I'm talking about?
That's what you're saying.
Okay.
Yep. Understood.
Absolute raucous environment. I'm talking as electric as I've ever seen. I mean, so on TV they look down and across the way, the bleachers behind the behind the stands, 95% all white out students.
Okay.
The far, far, far left behind the Wagner bench, like 5% of the fans was like Wagner. All right.
Okay.
Now again, set the stage. Wagner, Staten Island. A little rugged. You know,
rough around the edges.
Yeah, they're
Sorry,
a little
Mom.
rough around the edges out there. They just have a little edge. They're New York City folks. They're a little edgy.
Little edge them.
Okay. And the games, and so Peter Kiss, who's a leading scorer in the country for Bryant. He is a phenomenal basketball player. He's probably 2 inches away from being a legitimate NBA prospect.
Okay.
He's unbelievable player, but he's edgy himself. Okay, and he is not afraid. I'm not 100% positive. I thought he saw him flip off the crowd a few times last night.
Okay.
He is going to point to the crowd. He's going to yell at people on the other team. He was suspended earlier in the year for he is over the top with stuff. Are you looking at things right now?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Are you starting to see where
Oh, yeah, I'm seeing this.
Okay. So the game gets started, and Bryant is spanking them.
Killing them. And we're in a tournament, right?
This is the championship game to
Oh,
go
the
to the
championship
dance. To go to the dance.
Okay.
1 versus 2.
Okay.
Player of the year on Wagner. Okay.
Okay.
And to give you a little idea of how edgy Peter Kiss is, he is the nation's leading scorer.
Okay.
In the Northeast Conference, in the NEC, and he was not named the player of the year in the conference. It's because people don't like this guy. He's super edgy, and there's been some run-ins with the commissioner of the league.
We've had some issues.
Okay, so so here we go.
Jeez, nation's leading scorer. Guess like I kind of name him.
So with the game starts, what you may call it. Wagner scores the first basket of the game, 2-0. Okay, they
2-0 is where we're starting.
This is where I'm starting. Next, they end up getting they get to 4. And then I think they ended up getting to 6. It was like 8-6 or something like that.
Yeah.
And they didn't score for 11 minutes. Wagner didn't score for 11 minutes, and it got to like
really
38-6 with like 4 minutes left in the half. It was they missed everything. Absolutely everything. They could not hit the broadside of the barn. They'd get to a layup, and this center for Bryant is just demolishing. He's eating shots. He's not even like deflecting them. He's consuming them like a turkey on Thanksgiving.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, it's like 38-6, and the student section which is absolutely massive for Bryant is relentless. They are not giving in whatsoever, and just going and going and going and going and going. Finally, the second half comes, and it is. I mean, you can see it all over the Wagner kids' faces. They're like, this is embarrassing.
Yeah.
That we were just getting just obliterated. And Peter Kiss, he's like stealing balls, going down for a dunk, and he's doing these things. Like pointing at the fans, the Wagner fans. He's like flexing. He scored like 34 points. I mean, he was electric.
He was being Wagner himself.
He was electric last night. But the thing was, there was at one point where he hit like a layup, like it was like a rough layup. They didn't call a foul, and he's repping a set of 10 push-ups. Like, you know, when you get fouled, they're down on the ground, they hit 10 push. Wagner's dribbling down the court, and he's hitting a set of 10 push-ups down on the baseline, and then he's like pumping up the crowd. They're just getting waxed.
Yes.
They're getting waxed. The game is well in hand. It's like a 40-point game at this point, and it's like right towards the end. 4.5 minutes left, and there's a timeout on the floor, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a brawl erupts in the stands. Okay, is this what you're seeing?
I'm seeing it. TMZ picked it up. Barstool picked it up.
It was the craziest game minus the Malice in the Palace.
That's why I looked it up. When you said Malice in the Palace, I wasn't going to look up a mid-major game. And then, and I played mid-major. I wasn't going to look it up, and then I heard Malice in the Palace. I was like, okay, there was a brawl.
So straight brawl breaks out in the stands. Now, I think brawl's a little bit of a generous term. By the time they got the cameras up there, it looked like the way that it was set up in the stands. Like, have you ever seen those pictures of where like the Pacific Ocean and the like Atlantic Ocean meet?
Yes,
and it's like
it's a divide.
I mean, that's what it was. And like they were right there. And for 2 hours, the Wagner fans have been just punished.
Yes.
They've been punished. Okay. And the fans for Bryant,
I'm sure punished in ways that we do not know.
Yeah, and this just is crazy college because there was one kid right there with his shirt off.
Apparently he threw a drink. I'm watching a video.
He most certainly did. He most certainly did. There looked like some haymakers thrown. No real contact made. There were some like they're throwing water bottles and stuff like that.
Malice in the Palace was bigger.
Oh yeah, I mean the fight was a non-thing. It was just like hard to break it up. So the police rush in. They try to break it up. It takes them a long time to rush. There's a 35-minute delay in the game. Both teams go to the locker rooms. Okay. Both teams go to the locker rooms and they're trying to break this up. The athletic director for Wagner, funny story, Colts Neck resident.
Is he really?
Walter Hamline. I don't know if you remember Colleen's old friend Kelly Hamline. She was from like way back in the day, like third grade.
Maybe.
He goes out there and he tells all the Wagner fans that traveled by bus to this game to leave. They all leave the freaking stands and go out. So now there's a big gap.
Who escalated it?
It's so hard to say. I think,
especially from our point
I think
of
there
view.
was both. I think it was both. Like I think the kids were probably being idiots, and like you see like when they show the zoom in pictures, you see like people like fans who were like 2 rows away. They're like oh, like clapping it up, like being like I'm a 2 rows away college kid.
Of course.
So it's hard to say who really escalated it. But the Wagner fans leaving, they're kind of like lurking, but next to the bench. Like there's a bunch of them like lurking next to the bench. Big police presence. Like of course, both teams in the locker room. 35-minute delay, and then the athletic director for the. Like they're trying to sort it out. They're going to the monitor. Refs trying to figure it out. They eject one guy from Wagner because he was trying to get up into the stands. And they were saying like it was like the family section for Wagner. So very very possible that this guy's dad or mom was like right there. So I'm not gonna knock him for that. So the athletic director for for Bryant gets on the mic, and he tells everyone in the stands, "We're going to finish this game without fans. I need everyone to leave the gym." And he's like we're going to escort everybody out of the gym. Everybody's going to go, and then we're going to finish the game. And everyone starts booing. Like everyone's like, I was like, you got to be kidding me. And it sucks because it's like the NEC tournament game, like it's the finals. Like this is what you live for at that level. The fans storming the court and everybody going bananas, and now they're going to finish it in a silent gym.
That sucks.
Well, not if you're a Bryant student. They didn't freaking budge. They refused to move. Not a single student left. Not a single student left. And then they eventually were like, well, what do we do here?
Yeah.
And they eventually came on. They said, literally 35-minute delay. They come back. After a long time, the students come back out.
Players come back out.
The student athletes come back out. They get onto the court. Wagner was like, Bryant came out and it was like 10 minutes before Wagner even came back out. Like people were like, are they going to forfeit? Are they even going to play the rest of the game? The announcer was like, I would forfeit. There's no point. It's a 40-point game. There's only bad things can happen here. So then they start coming out. The athletic director of Bryant gets on the mic again and says, this is what's going to happen. We're obviously going to win the game. He didn't say that, but he's like, at the end of the game, there will be no court storming. We're going to get Wagner's team off of the court. I will give you a thumbs up, and then you are allowed to storm the court. Everyone's like, okay, like whatever, buddy. So they start the game again, and for 4.5 minutes, they just held the ball. 30 seconds, they just chuck up a shot at the end. It was
Wagner did?
Both. Well, Wagner was shooting, was chucking up.
Okay.
It looked like one of those games like LA Fitness, like you played for 4 hours and nobody wants to play anymore. It looked like that. And for like Bryant would hold the ball for 30 seconds and then just chuck up a three. Wagner came down and was like shooting like Nowitzki shots. And
ill-advised.
Yeah, it was wild. And then at the end of the game goes to 0. Bryant AD goes to the mic to like try to stop everybody from coming. No chance. He was like, I liken it to Mufasa in the canyon as the
wildebeest.
The wildebeest was coming through,
and
he tried for watch him. He tried for like 3 seconds to like stop everybody. No chance. Full court storm.
This is the Wagner athletic director or the
This is the Bryant athletic director. It was an unfortunate scene, but it ended up okay.
Happening?
But I mean, it was a crazy. I'd never seen anything like that from just the games perspective. I've never seen anybody just get spanked like that for so long.
What was the final? Do you know?
I mean, they closed it a little bit because they just stopped playing.
Yes,
but I mean, I think the final they won by 25 or 30.
Jeez, I mean that's a big.
It was an
whooping.
You have never seen a butt whooping like this. I couldn't, and they just couldn't. I mean, they were so domed up, they got demoralized. I mean, it was an absolute, and those fans were just relentless.
Of course,
to that small contingent of Wagner Seahawks. Good program over there, Wagner. That's unbelievable, but. Congratulations to Jared Grasso at Bryant Quinnipiac grad.
Well, as you can imagine, there are obviously some people are pulling out the race card here.
That seems ill-advised.
Yes, 4 minutes ago, I am a Wagner band member and can confirm it was me who threw the bottle at the infant child. I would imagine that's a joke.
Okay.
I guess someone else. Bryant President has released a statement on the event. I will not read the entire statement. But they are proud of the basketball team. They congratulate Coach Grasso and the entire coaching staff, not just Coach
Chris
Grasso.
Duhon is on that staff, by the way.
Oh, okay. The team presented Bryant's spirit. We are better than some of the students demonstrated last night. Treating others with respect, the whole bullshit. We're not gonna.
It was just, it was just like a.
And Brian won.
It's like a pressure cooker, like they were just getting smoked for 2 hours, and they're gritty New Yorkers, That's. I ain't gonna take that.
Well, I think it'd be wise if Miranda at this time put up a video for the YouTube people of the shirtless gentleman, which you can find on Twitter, the shirtless gentleman throwing a drink. I mean, it's already escalated at this point.
Yeah.
He does it in the middle of the escalation. But wow, NEC.
And I gotta say, I'm gonna say
did.
this: Bryant is really undersized. They're a Northeast Conference team, probably have a 6'8" center.
Okay.
I do not want to face them if I'm a 1 seed. because Peter Kiss can score against anybody, and he's got the scoring ability for college. He's got the scoring ability of a Russell Westbrook, but he's got the attitude of a Draymond Green. So he can get in the head of, and he'll be domed.
Oh my God, I hate those people.
I know, but he doesn't care. So like,
near Draymond Green.
So like, you want to talk like as somebody like get a like hard to say they beat a Duke or somebody, but if Peter Kiss gets hot, and then he's going to talk to anybody. He's going to talk. Apparently, in the beginning of the year, they played like Clemson in the first game, and he scored like the first basket of the game, and he started just jawing at the Clemson Student Center. Like he was like calling people their daddies and stuff like that.
Oh my God!
Like he's full send, and it's one of those things where like if he's always teetering on the edge, and he is a legitimate baller. If you would not want to face that team in the dance.
I hated those people that would do that stuff and be good.
Yeah.
Because then they get in your head a little bit,
And then you're like,
and you're like, I'm better than you. Like they go face a Duke or something like that. Like, we are better than you. You are not that good at basketball.
Peter Kiss can play anywhere in the country.
But we are going to pummel you, or we should pummel you, and then all of a sudden he gets hot.
Oh, and he is.
And he does.
He is sick.
God,
And I'm talking
nothing worse.
And he's like
it's
throwing
like Opie.
tomahawk dunks down in traffic. Like this guy is legit. He's probably your size, your height.
6'5".
Yeah.
What position do you play?
Shooting guard, point guard ish. And like if he was 6'7", we'd be like, this dude is an NBA player. I don't know about this dude on Duke, Paolo Banchero, is the best player.
What happened in that Duke game?
I think they got tight. I think it was pretty clear. I thought while watching that game, it looked like
it was so disappointing.
The moment got to them, and like what it looked like was
they're way better than UNC.
Well, UNC's a good team. I don't
even think UNC's ranked.
They were not, but they were 22-8. I don't know why they weren't ranked.
They must have had bad losses. But Duke's 4 in the country or something like that.
Yeah. I think you have a lot of freshmen at Duke, right?
Okay.
Like that is always a tough one. But I thought it was very clear to me that the moment got to them. Like it seemed to me was at the end, like there was like within like 6, and they were like, it looked like they hit that. We have to win this game, and then there was like, we're not. And then
that's tough.
And then they had this one like tall white bearded shooter for North Carolina, who just got super hot and was making shots. Like contested threes that you didn't think
you'd make.
You like
playing good defense.
And if you make those shots, you're probably going to win the game, and that's what they did. It was demoralizing, but it was the intro with Coach K in the beginning was top 5 sports moment, right up there with Kobe, Derek Jeter, best I've ever seen. Really.
Yeah, I mean, it was. To have the last game at Cameron Indoor, against UNC, I'm sure they set it up that way.
I'm sure.
But to have that, it's a moment that
he was crying during the national anthem.
I saw.
So moving.
To have that, I mean, the whole crowd was singing the national anthem, weren't they?
I'm
pretty sure they were. I watched
it. See, like his like lip quivering. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, to have that type of moment, I can certainly understand how young kids, 19, 20-year-old basketball players at Duke, couldn't fold to the moment.
Yeah.
But that is such a once in a lifetime moment. You had the ability to do it. It's unfortunate they weren't able to pull it off. But again, it's not about the win or loss there. It's obviously about Coach K, but the win is the cherry on the.
Of course, it like the post game ceremony was a little afterwards. Yeah. I heard JJ Redick. This was actually really interesting. He was like, when I went to Duke, like it was like I was in a fishbowl. Like it was the biggest thing in the world. It felt so big. And he's like, when I went to the NBA, it felt so much smaller. And I was like, how interesting. Like, and I agree with that. Like of all the great environments I've worked in the NBA, of all the great environments I've ever seen. The top 2 would be Quinnipiac when we were in the NEC championship game, and CBA high school. I mean, there's nothing crazier than that. You don't really get that in the NBA. And at Duke, I think Duke is the absolute epitome of like that high school basketball environment.
Yes.
And it's incomparable. Is there anywhere else in the country that would even? I know, like, ironically, like Grand Canyon University has an unbelievable student section.
Yes. Publicly traded company.
It is a publicly traded company. But most of them are just, it's not the same. And Duke is the epitome.
So it's interesting you say that because I remember playing, get to minor league baseball, and they talk about that. They talk about how you get drafted, and it's it's amazing how irrelevant where you went to school is once you get drafted. It's all about where you got drafted, and what round you're in. Because I get to get I went to Monmouth mid-major. You went to Quinnipiac, and even I threw 100 miles an hour. I still thought I was good, but when I had a Monmouth University jersey on, and I would go play UVA, University of Virginia. I go. We didn't never play, but I'm going to use it as an example. You play South Carolina, you play Arkansas, and you're like, oh God, I can't compete against these guys. And then and then I would go and play minor league baseball, and I'd strike this guy out. This guy's fucking terrible. Like this is an easy out. I do this, I do that, I do that. And then you're talking with the guys in the locker room or some of that, and like, oh yeah, that guy was really good at South Carolina, or he was he played at UVA, he played at Texas, and you're like, really? And something you learn about baseball, at least, I can't speak for basketball. Basketball's got bigger budgets than baseball does, but something you learn quickly about baseball is you're a good player, but if you play around the university, that's who they go after most of the time in baseball. They don't have the big budgets to go get, a guy from, UVA is not really pulling people from California the way basketball is, where like a Duke University, a top 5 program
there's like no AAU. I think that lends itself to.
Well, there is. You have Showcase. They just because baseball has such a small budget, they get benefits from getting in-state people. So you get the players that are good in in-state. You go if you can only get 1 or 2 guys out of state, and now I think there's 25 or 30 guys.
So you're saying like an in-state guy pays less tuition.
Yes.
So their
scholarship
30% scholarship turns into a 70.
Yes. And
wow,
yes.
I never knew that. I never thought of that.
So if you go and get a out-of-state guy, you can't offer him that much, or you're offering him a lot. But he better be really fucking good.
Interesting.
So you realize that, though. Like, I remember Evan Marzilli. We both know Evan. Great player.
Great guy.
Great guy. A nice lefty swing. He's a fast guy. Good
awesome
outfielder.
center fielder.
Awesome center fielder. Played at USC, South Carolina, not Southern Cal. Played at South Carolina. South Carolina was one of the best programs in the country. Still is one of the best programs in the country.
A natty.
I believe they did. Maybe even 2. But not in his time frame, but in that area. Really good player. And then you go face him, and he's a slap hitter. And but if I had a Monmouth jersey on while I played USC, he might take me yard.
Yeah. Because
you just don't feel as though you can compete with those guys.
Yeah.
And it's similar to what you talk about. Is I didn't give a fuck where you went to school when you got to once you got to AAA. I didn't even know where you went to school. I don't care.
It was so irrelevant.
It's so irrelevant. But and similar to what JJ Redick said is, I don't care you went to Duke.
Yeah.
Like Zion Williams, who everyone thought was this great player, who I just thought was a tremendous athlete. I never thought he was that great of a player, but he's a tremendous athlete, and he gets to the NBA, and now he's playing against guys that are like, I don't give a fuck, man. You can dunk well, and you're a good player. You're scoring. He was doing well, but he's been hurt all year, hasn't he?
So he has been irrelevant because he's been injured. But when he's played, he has been electric.
Good player, but you're talking about like when
people aren't rattled. People aren't like, damn, this guy went to, especially not in the NBA.
No.
Everybody's like that.
Exactly. No one cares, and that's the thing. You're talking about Zion Williams is the tippy top of those college basketball players at Duke and all that stuff. And when you get to the NBA, no one cares. You're going up against guys. I mean, the only person that comes to mind is Kobe Bryant because he's deceased. But like you go up against these guys that are unbelievable college players or basketball players that just we don't care that you went to Duke and you dunk well. Yeah. Like I'm gonna fucking take you for a ride here. Like I'm gonna crush you. Yeah. And again, it's just no one cares where you went to school. And it's, like you said, JJ Redick said it. I remember. The one thing that I do remember from JJ Redick is that motherfucker couldn't miss a foul shot.
He's the all-time Duke leading scorer.
I'm not surprised. But do you remember, like, it was like a thing. His foul shots were a
like
thing.
300 in a row or something.
Yes,
like that.
it was a thing.
Him at Duke, he was the most electric college basketball player I've ever seen.
That is a really bold
statement. He is of everybody Steph Curry was phenomenal. But JJ Redick was the guy that like you're turning on the TV to watch. Like, because in that time, especially like that was the elite time for us to like love Duke and like love like idolize Coach K and stuff like that. And I mean, it seemed like he made every single 3-pointer, and he was like the epitome of Duke, the white guy who's just dumping on everyone.
He was that guy. I remember because I was like somewhat because West Virginia basketball wasn't very good. I mean, we had Kevin
Well, that's
Pittsnoggle.
when- that was about the time, maybe a little bit before the Pittsnoggle Gansey era,
Yeah.
which was by far the best time to be a Mountaineer basketball fan.
Oh my goodness. I mean, if you put that
Nothing
video
better.
on, I think I could still recite the lines.
Nothing better.
Kevin Pittsnoggle, Mike Gansey,
GM of the Cavs now.
Crazy, good for him.
Yeah.
Was it Patrick Beeline?
Patrick Beeline, J.D. Collins, Air Bear, Johannes Air Bear.
Does John Beeline come back to coach the Michigan Wolverines when they fired Juwan Howard for punching people?
Okay, that's a fireable offense in my opinion.
So obviously I'm a Barstool guy, and I know Dave Portnoy is a big Michigan guy.
Right.
Big Cat's a big Wisconsin guy.
Yeah.
It's none of them was calling for his job.
I didn't think he'd get fired, especially because
Most people were saying the Wisconsin guy escalated it. So I watched the video.
I agree. As a coach,
Can't
you
punch
simply cannot do that.
No.
That is an there are
as a head coach.
there are head coaches in this country who would have been fired for that.
Yes.
Maybe
If you
he's
weren't
got
good.
standing maybe,
Yes.
and he's had actually some edgy moments up there, which surprised me because he came out of the NBA like really well respected as like a professional.
Yes.
But he's had some edgy moments. You simply cannot. Can you imagine? Could you imagine your coach? And they were talking about like the precedent you set as like a leader. Like now your players are like, I can sock anybody I want.
It's certainly
There are coaches that would have been fired for that.
Yes, and I've actually, interestingly enough, you talk about that is I like to compare things, obviously, as you know, to my businesses, and people have asked me to go out to Green Rock and stuff like that, and I have found myself in positions where I feel as though I cannot manage or manage the places the way I want to because I've done similar things, setting precedents. So I don't stop doing those things. I just do them elsewhere.
Right.
And so I'm able to go in and manage the way I need to manage. And it's similar with Juwan Howard. You say you punch someone.
Yeah.
The bar's low now.
Yeah.
Like what can they do that you're going to yell at them for?
Yeah, I bet somewhere in his contract he could have gotten that terminated. They could have
Oh,
terminated
I'm
his
sure.
contract.
I'm
if they
sure.
wanted
But he's
to.
been good. Are they good this year?
No.
No?
I think they're like okay, like not
Yeah.
Michigan standard.
Yeah.
This first year there, I think they were killer. Maybe a year or two ago.
Yeah, they had a big run.
This year they have not enjoyed the same success.
And John Beeline's over there teaching history.
I think John Beeline took a job as a advisor in I don't know if it was college or NBA, probably college.
Maybe the Cavaliers.
John Beeline's like 70. I don't.
Yeah,
see
no.
it. I don't see
Maybe the Cavaliers.
No. He's the NBA.
No, I'm saying because Gansey. He's just an advisor for Mike.
I wonder if that's how he got the job.
I'm sure. I mean, if
That
they
had to have played a role.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, John didn't do so well in Cleveland, but
He was just.
I'm sure he was well respected. I'm sure they liked him.
He was.
Just
Well,
move
that's
on.
why they left. No, that's why they fired him because he called everybody thugs in a meeting, and the NBA players were not pleased with that.
Oh my goodness.
I mean,
Damn
he was.
But
terrible.
maybe not by the players, but by the
He was one of the
people
nicest
above.
guys I've ever met.
Yes.
Truly.
I'm saying he's probably respected by the people making decisions.
Yeah.
The players aren't oftentimes, unless you're LeBron, oftentimes making decisions in this industry.
Now, LeBron has run himself right into the ground in L.A. That team is atrocious.
Atrocious. I saw. I was lifting yesterday at the gym, and I saw a headline that said, "Is the trade the Lakers made for Russell Westbrook the worst trade in NBA history?"
Let me tell you something about.
No, hold on, Sean.
Okay.
If you're a player and you are, there is a headline. I don't care if it's a ridiculous headline. I don't care what it is. If there is a headline that says, keep in mind, I was traded once, but I'm not talking about sports history. But if there is a headline that says that is this the worst trade in NBA history, you do not want to be in that headline. I don't care how egregious it might be. You do not want to be in that headline.
There was an article that came out yesterday about Westbrook. Apparently, like he's catching, of course he would, catching a lot of heat on social media, and his wife, they're threatening his wife, whatever.
Of course.
And he's decided.
Wow, it is really snowing out. I don't know, people looking at Sean's video.
Oh my God.
It is like a full-on blizzard here on the YouTube channel. Sorry We're Closed. Thank you for subscribing to Sorry We're Closed on YouTube.
Yo, don't forget to smash that like button.
Smash that. No free ads. Continue, Sean.
So, yeah, this is his article, and he was like, I'm not going to allow anybody to besmirch my name anymore. And he gave an example, and I died laughing. The example that he gave, he's like, for example, West Brick. He's like, I don't want anybody calling me West Brick
give the
anymore.
example.
I nearly fell out of my seat.
You can't give the example.
You cannot give an example.
Can't give the example. You can't give an example.
He was talking about, he was saying people are calling him Westbrook. He's like, every time we start losing, they start chanting Westbrick. And I was like, dude, that's the best.
Absolutely cannot give an example. I'm going to start a topic here that I don't know where it's going to go.
Let's go. I'm having a great time.
It's an Elon Musk tweet that is trending now on Twitter.
Love that guy.
He tweeted a picture. He tweeted a picture circling. I'm going to read the headline so that we can. I don't know how to pronounce one of these words, just so everyone's clear. Tesla CEO Elon Musk shares an image on Twitter with circled letters spelling out Satoshi Nakamoto, the name used by it seems like it's combining the word anonymous and pseudonymous.
Okay, pseudo-anonymous?
No, there's no anonymous. It's
pseudonymous.
It's pseudonymous. A person who developed Bitcoin. So, and this is why I want to dive into this, is that he is saying...
What is the tweet? Like, if you were reading
Sean,
the tweet...
I will tell you the tweet. It's a picture. It's no words.
Oh, I want to see this.
And he puts up a picture of a company, of 4 different companies: Samsung, Toshiba, Nakamichi, which I don't know that company, and Motorola.
Big fan of Nakamichi.
Bring it up, Sean, because this is interesting. Elon Musk, this big of a person, tweeting it out, saying that those companies were all named to spell out Satoshi Nakamoto, who developed Bitcoin. And if you remember correctly,
do we know that's the person who?
No one knows who developed Bitcoin. That's why everyone's saying it. Remember the guy that curses at everyone, calls them the C word? What's his name? Dan
Pena.
Daniel.
I cannot stand that.
No,
guy.
he yells at everyone. He calls everyone I drop the F-bomb. I say fuck all the time.
The C word that rhymes with punt.
Yes. I don't use that word.
No.
And he calls people that all the time. You worthless punts.
Yeah, he's like, I heard him say the other day, he's like, the reason I use tough love is because it works.
Yes. No, it doesn't.
No, please stop. If I paid money to go to your seminar and you call me that, I'd be like, refund now.
Yes.
Absolutely not.
Yes. And he'll give it to you. Because he's that kind of person.
I'll have a nice thank you note along with it.
But anywho, he was originally a person that said that it was Putin that developed Bitcoin.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Elon Musk tweeting this out.
I mean, what a cryptic tweet.
I know. But him tweeting this out, I mean, this is as big of a person, as well in the know, as you say, as it gets. And he's tweeting out that these 4 companies are developed and named. Well,
he's not tweeting that. He's just tweeted the picture. How do we know that's what he's saying?
I mean, it's just saying Tesla CEO Elon Musk shares an image on Twitter with circled letters spelling out Satoshi Nakamoto, the name used by the pseudo. Oh, so okay, here we got it. I now have read it better.
Okay.
I'm sure people at home picked up on the first read.
Look at this response. Just random companies.
So Satoshi Nakamoto is and this is what it is, the pseudonymous person. It's the name that's used for the person that developed it, but it's not the actual name of the person.
Okay.
So I don't know why so I guess he is stating here that this gentleman is, I guess, maybe more, I mean, more with these more to do with these companies than the general population knows, or it's just by coincidence. I don't know. It doesn't seem like Elon thinks this commission by coincidence, but
I mean that is certainly an interesting. I don't even know what to say.
Neither do I.
That's like I don't like what it. Okay, thank you. What? So are we saying like these companies are in on it?
Or
what the hell is Nakamichi?
I've never heard of Nakamichi. Motorola, Toshiba, and Samsung. Is Toshiba still even around?
I'm guessing, but
what happened to Blackberries?
They're still around.
They're still around?
Yeah, they changed it. Nobody likes them anymore.
No, BBM.
Freaking BBM, dude.
BBM.
Remember those things? Those things were like absolutely everybody had them.
Yes. If you didn't have, if you weren't
Those little
BBMing people, are you even real?
TBM was like the OG. Like,
I thought we just completely got off topic there.
Well, we don't even know. We don't even know how to continue with that. Like, what do we say? What do we say to that? I don't know anything about
No.
Bitcoin. I don't know about
Neither do I.
Satoshi Nakamoto.
Neither do I. But interestingly enough, Elon Musk saying something there. We don't know what he's saying, but he's saying something.
Breaking news: Elon Musk tweets.
That's it. That's it.
You know, this is what it's going to be. This you're going to see this everywhere. Elon Musk sends cryptic tweet. Is this something to be concerned about? That's coming somewhere.
Oh yeah.
I want
to be big enough to be able to do that.
what?
And I want to be as big as Elon Musk one day and tweet, "Aliens are here now."
And people were like, ah.
The names are.
Wait, do you remember? You've definitely heard about this before. Back in like the 70s or 50s or something. I don't know. It was a big difference, but but the War of the Worlds. Do you know about this? Yeah, I'm sure you've heard this. Where
Maybe.
they did it was a radio broadcast. It was like a radio like movie. I guess they used to do back in the day, where everybody gathers around the AM radio. Sorry, Grandma.
She's not listening. Don't worry.
And,
she has no idea how to listen to this. She has no idea how to listen to this. Yes.
And so like, and they play like a movie, but like the movie was like the world was ending, blah blah blah. The radio is the same place that people got their news from, right? It's where like breaking news, the fireside chats with FDR.
Course. Only the shadow knows.
No, truly, only the shadow knows. And it's like people like that turned it on late started hearing this broadcast about the world ending and like aliens invading, and it like caused a panic in the streets. I don't know where I was going with that, but that's
it.
That once happened.
Okay. Well, there you go. The only thing, and this is why we will end the podcast on, my friend, talking about people that are big on Twitter that sometimes don't even need to tweet, and you are causing a ruckus. Okay. Tom Brady. Reports out now.
Oh God.
Reports are out that he is, in fact, still using the TB12 method. Could he change his mind?
Literally give me anything about. I saw him eating yogurt.
That's the TB12. Healthy. That's the TB12. He's coming back. He wants to go back to the Patriots.
Look, where there's smoke, there's fire. I don't think he's completely selling out on.
I think he's done.
I think he is too. But I don't think that he's. I don't think it's a 0% chance that he comes back. But I think it's a very low likelihood.
Yeah, I mean, okay. So the report.
He's 40.
This is so embarrassing. This is what you're reporting on. Report says, and this is from Rappaport, not the one that we talked about last week. I guess there's a Rappaport.
Yeah. Michael Rappaport is a reporter.
Yes. Tom Brady.
Oh no, Ian Rappaport is the reporter.
Oh God. Tom Brady. Yeah, Ian Rappaport. Tom Brady staying in shape, eating well, and oh God, hydrating. Guys,
I saw him drinking water. It was a Dasani.
You can't include hydrating in the headline.
It's people will click. It's all about clicks.
But I'm okay with that.
But have something.
Everyone hydrates. Most people hydrate, I would say. You can't. It's staying in shape, eating well, and working out.
Holding football.
Yes, holding football. You can't use a basic necessity of living.
Tom Brady has catch with son in park. What does this mean?
He threw it pretty hard. It looked like 75%. You can't include hydrating.
Ridiculously accurate. He hasn't lost it. He's coming back.
So the full headline is Tom Brady staying in shape, eating well, hydrating. I still can't get over that they included hydrating.
Is there like a picture of him like eating a yogurt?
No, Sean. There's a picture of him hydrating.
Please show me.
But it's him playing. He's still playing.
Oh, okay.
It's
It's
not
like
him,
him
at
like
his
squeezing
home.
the Gatorade bottle.
Yeah, it's
like a paparazzi.
That's not what it is.
It's a paparazzi pic. Oh my!
Imagine him at home with a Dasani.
I saw an article the other day, and I've actually seen a couple articles that went exactly along this line, where Savannah James, LeBron's wife, she tweeted she tweeted like a screenshot of a song she was listening to on Apple Music.
Okay.
And it was by a Cleveland-based rapper. Mm-hmm. And the article was like Savannah James tweets, cryptic tweet about could this mean for LeBron's future? And and it was literally like, this is a Cleveland-based rapper. And literally in the article, one of the sentences started, now this could mean absolutely nothing, but we thought it was interesting that it could mean that they're headed back to Cleveland during free agency. I was like, just shut the hell up. Just shut the hell up. Shut the hell up.
Shut the hell up.
But people, they do that all the time. Every single day on First Take, I mean, they're just pulling things out of thin air, they have to create these debates. Whatever.
It is. It's stupid. I mean, similarly, we do the same thing on this podcast to try to figure out things to talk about.
No, we had hard-hitting topics.
Hard-hitting topics here at Sorry We're
Ask
Close.
the Wagner fans about how hard-hitting our topics are. Ask the shirtless gentleman about how hard. Ask Peter Kiss about how hard-hitting our topics are.
Mid-major basketball games.
They are electric.
But anyway, you can't include hydrating. That's the moral of that story. You can't include hydrating. You can't. Hydrating is not relevant in any way to him coming back to playing football. I'm okay with all of the other ones.
What was the publication that was publishing this?
The one I'm seeing right now is Boston, CBS local. So it's the CBS in Boston.
Yeah, I mean, this is just...
Tom Brady staying in shape, eating well, hydrating in case he wants to unretire and play in 22. You just can't say hydrating. You can't say hydrating.
I mean, I agree with you. That's
Thank
a
you.
crap story.
Crap story.
You think that journalist was like, I can't believe I have to write this? Or do you were like, or was it like a up and comer? He's like, I got something here.
Now, let's read the first sentence of the article.
How do they know he's hydrating?
Don't know. Tom Brady has made it very clear over the past decade or so that his fitness routine, hydration methods, and diet are key components to his ability to dominate the sport of football. Guys.
I mean, there has to be like a thing that says like they saw him at a mall with a water bottle.
Let's see. I'll tell you right now, Sean.
They have to have seen him doing that. They can't just be like, I'm assuming that he drank a water this week. Is he coming back?
It sounds like this is like so dumb. This is a report. This is a quote from Rappaport. That this is the way somebody who knows Brady very well described it to me. I guess Brady walks around with a jug of water all the time, right? To make sure that he's fully hydrated. I made the joke to someone who knows him very well and has known him forever. I go, I guess he can retire the jug. And this person looked at me like I was crazy and was like, oh no, he's still got the jug. He's still in shape. He's still eating well. He's still doing TB12 method or whatever. He's still keeping himself hydrated in case. He's still doing the things that he would do in case he wanted to return. I don't know if he's going to come back. I know it's at least possible, and I don't know where the level of possible is, but it is at least possible. So, again, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about Elon Musk. You get to tweet anything you want, and boom, it's major headlines somewhere. All Tom Brady has to do is drink water, apparently.
I watched a documentary the other day about Carl Icahn, who...
HBO Max.
Yes.
Yep. I saw that you're watching it.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yes, I did. Is it a good enough documentary to watch?
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
It's definitely good enough. It wasn't like amazing, but it was good enough.
It wasn't amazing.
Nah, yeah. I was hoping for it to be a little bit better, but
okay.
But he talked about at the end, like when he started his Twitter. He's not verified on Twitter, by the way.
Carl Icahn?
Yeah, he's not verified. 200-something thousand followers. Or
is it definitely him?
Yeah, it definitely is.
Okay.
He's like also followed by
Warren
like
Buffett's
Jeff Bezos or something like that.
Okay, so Warren Buffett has a bunch of Twitter accounts. That's not him.
Yeah, he definitely has a Twitter, and I'm pretty sure it's the one they showed here. And he was like followed by like super big dudes.
He's apparently a tough motherfucker.
Watch the documentary.
Okay,
watch the documentary. I mean, he is unbelievable. But they said like he tweeted about Apple one time, and it moved Apple stock by billions of dollars. I was like, that's freaking power.
That's the thing, and we'll end there with as far as you talk about these big people. You can't you can get fined heavily for that.
Yeah,
if they think that you're trying to move
the
market.
I actually thought it was. I wondered that.
I can tweet anything I want. Apple's going to come out with a spaceship tomorrow, but if Carl Icahn tweets that, you're going to get major fines for it because you'll move the market very much.
I think one of the craziest things I've ever heard is that Ray Dalio's Bridgewater Alpha Fund is so big that they can't make like transactions because the entire market shifts. Mm-hmm. I was like, that's unbelievable. Where like if they make like a mass sell, it doesn't work because the market changes the pricing so dramatically. Crazy.
And that's the other thing. I mean, you're talking about. I know. I think the threshold is 5% of a company. If you exceed a 5% buy or sell, you have to notify the SEC, and that's what moves the market. So that when Warren Buffett wants to make moves in the market on a company that he loves, he has to stay under that threshold with every buy. He can never exceed the threshold because now he has to tell people I'm buying this, and he knows if I tell everyone I'm buying this, everyone's buying it.
Do you think he buys at like 4.999%?
I'm sure, but it's not a single buy. If you buy over the 5% threshold of the company, you have to tell people. So if you do 2.5 and 2.5,
so he wants to stay at like
under 5%. He always
ownership.
Yes, but the other thing, and this is I keep saying we're going to end somewhere, but everyone talks about how rich guys like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk are. They're almost like figuratively rich, not really rich, because they can never access that money. Like the billions of dollars they own. Elon Musk can't just go have $126 billion. Whatever.
You know what?
If you sell the Tesla stocks,
so where do they get the money from then? Like how? Because
apparently any bank will give him money.
Oh, I get that, but like is the cash in his checking account loans?
I'm sure he has cash based off just straight, maybe probably a salary.
But they
or
say,
anything.
but like Jeff Bezos' salary was like
80,000. Yeah.
Do you know what Elon Musk's salary is per year? $1. Where's
So,
the money coming from?
I'm sure he's got side gigs.
I know that
Yes.
he's not. He's not like I need some money. I'm eating ramen noodles here. He is the type of guy that would still eat ramen.
Yes,
he's
he
the
is.
type of guy that you'd walk
He's a
into
whack
his
job.
office and he's like making the Lunchables pizza.
Yes.
right. He's like like doing like he was trying to open the Capri Sun. And he's like, yes. What can I help you with?
But yeah. So, if they sell their shares of the company, the stock plummets.
Yeah.
Like if Jeff Bezos tomorrow sold all of his shares of Amazon, stocks plummeting just because he owns 16% or whatever it was. But on top of that, everyone is panicking why Jeff Bezos is selling his stock, and everyone is selling Amazon. They think it's gonna. If he sells all of it, people are thinking the world's ending, and he needs the Amazon is about to crumble. So it is something to think about as far as everyone complaining about him. They have that much money, but they don't really have that much money.
That's why they say like his net worth went up like $6 billion in one day.
In one day, yeah, because
people literally think that his Wells Fargo
yes went up $6 billion.
$6
When in
billion.
reality, the reason it went up $6 billion is because of the general public buying his stock. You guys did it.
The whole hating rich people thing is an
stupid.
absolute is so
stupid.
uninformed.
Yes, so uninformed. But Sean,
Anybody who doesn't like rich people, you better not buy on Amazon.
you better not. You heard it here first. Sorry, we're closed. Can't buy Amazon if you hate rich people.
You better be on Wayfair. No, but you can't even be on Wayfair because I bet that guy's rich.
Anyone that owns a company is rich.
You got to deliver the packages by yourself. Postal workers,
You have to-
USPS. That's it.
Yep, and you have to make your own furniture. Boom.
If you hate rich people, you have to become Amish. Period.
Yes, period. As we do it at the end of every episode, which we're going to make a thing. We've already made a thing unknowingly. Is we congratulate ourselves on a great episode.
Yeah, this was top notch. This was top notch. 53. At the beginning of, it was electric in the beginning.
Electric
in the beginning.
Everyone's talking about it on Twitter.
You know what I wonder? Like
What?
at these points of the episode, when clearly we're done here,
Yes, we have nothing else.
how many people are just like, I'm done with the rest of the podcast. Like
No,
there's minute 6
listen.
left. There's minute 6 left on the ticker, and people are just like, this is what am I? I'm not wasting my time with this.
Listen,
anymore.
I bet you mom and dad are listening.
They definitely are listening.
Thanks, guys. You guys are great.
Tremendous.
Great episode, Sean. Phenomenal episode. Guys,
It's time for we're 16 minutes away from Idaho Vandals versus Sacramento State.
wow. We'll talk about that next episode. Only if there's a brawl, though.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna beat that.
All right, guys. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Sorry, we're closed.